Hello everybody and welcome to Vicky, Pattison, The Secret To. This week I'm joined by one of my favourite girls on Instagram. She is a fashion designer, she is an author, and she's just an all-round brilliant person. It's Miss Charlotte Grady, everybody. Woo!
Thank you, Vic.
You're
I'm so excited.
Mate, we have been trying to get this in the diary for so long. You are so fucking busy. How are you?
I'm really good, actually. Thank you. Everything's really mental at the moment. I think for the last few months, I haven't stopped. We tried to book this in, like you said, for so long, but we've had to keep rescheduling it. But no, I'm good. I'm really, really good.
And I think so for everyone who's not aware and is listening to this on a sort of listening platform rather than a visual one, we now have YouTube, so people can go across there and enjoy this visually, so to speak. So I think it's important to mention your headphones.
Listen, I could not find any decent headphones, and then Harriet was like, "You're just gonna have to wear your gaming ones." So now I look like a wannabe gaming porn star.
I'd shag you, mate. You look great.
When I ordered these and they arrived, I was really excited, and Harriet was like, "What the fuck are those?" I was like, "Oh, these are my headphones. These are my gaming headphones."
How does it, in your relationship, because obviously H has just came over, she's helped with the setup.
Yeah.
Is she as daft as a brush as you, or does she
No.
She have to rein you in a little bit?
Yeah, Harriet's got a lot more common sense than me, and she really levels me out. We work so well. I'm up here and Harriet's here. Harriet's really sensible. I actually force her to dance and stuff with me. If she could get away with not being in stuff, she would, but yeah.
Then I always think me producer were just giggling when you was trying to do the setup. And for everybody listening, it is quite technical. And I always get really, whenever I have to do anyone else's podcast, if the setup is slightly different to mine, I always totally lose my head. I'm like, I can't do it. And it's so funny because there's somebody's partner always comes over and helps them. There's always one a person in a relationship who's good and one person who isn't. Always. That's how it works.
Yes. Harriet's really good with technology, but useless with Instagram, whereas I'm really good with Instagram and completely useless with technology. If you told Harriet to put a link on Instagram or some sort of music, she wouldn't have a clue, but she's good at the other sides. I'm all full of everything else.
So you're each other's yin and yang.
Yeah, works well.
I love that. And speaking of Instagram, mate, you have built in such a short space of time, a huge community, a giant following, and become a bit of an, I hope you take this as I intend it with huge comments, you're a bit of a phenomenon.
I don't even know what that means, but I'll say thank you because it sounds really good.
Well, I just mean what you've managed to achieve, is incredible. And the following you've got on there are so supportive and loyal. It's incredible. So you love Instagram, right?
I do. I think I'm quite lucky. So I think you've got influencers on you that do it for work, and then you've got people who do it for a hobby, and I get to merge both of them together. So you're always going to get them people saying, aren't you, Instagram's not work, blah blah blah. But I've got the best of both worlds with that because it's my safe space, it's my hobby, it helps me with mental health and everything. And I just love it. I love Instagram.
Well, they say, don't they? What's that saying? If you find something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. Definitely. I like that quote.
Yeah, well, feel free to whack it on a t-shirt or whatever you want to do with it, mate. It's definitely not mine. Have you got your puppies there?
I have. Kobe's by here. Let me put the camera down a bit. He's like, hello.
Hi, Kobe. Hi. Who's a good boy? Oh, you're handsome.
He's such a grumpy lad.
Milo's looking at me who are you fucking talking to?
Who are you speaking to?
I am so in the doghouse with Milo anyway, as we've just come back from holiday. So he's trying to give us the cold shoulder a little bit.
Yeah.
But secretly, he's just so happy to have me back. He's not very good at it.
Does he usually know when you're going as well? If you're packed and you're ready to go, does he sit there I know I'm not coming with you?
Yeah. So he's started to do, they're so clever, aren't they? And in particular, the breeds we have, the labs, the retrievers. He started to do this thing and it was on our last holiday and it absolutely broke my heart. So he does the usual, when you get the cases out, he goes and sits in them. We've had animals for years in our house. I remember my old cat used to do it.
Yeah.
But he started to do this thing now where when I'm packing, he goes and hides under my bed.
Or like a proper mood.
Yeah, like a real huff. And it's I'm sensitive as it is, Shaw, so it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I remember like putting it on Instagram and being like, we started to do this thing where he hides today. What is it? And some woman was like, it's because he just want you to fucking go away again. And I was like, down,
listen, I wish I could take him with me. I don't understand why you can't just get a passport for a dog and they can't sit on the plane with you.
Well,
how it's like they can, but they got to go underneath. I was like, no, they need a seat. Like
they
both need seats.
So in America, and I like listeners, if you listen to this, I think in Deutsch is wrong, please just like write in. But I'm sure you can fly with your animals domestic.
I think I've seen TikToks where there's been like Goldens sitting by the window looking out, and I was like, oh my God, that is a goal. Because I would take them everywhere with me. If you could take them everywhere, you would, wouldn't you? But you physically can't.
And that's it. And like, obviously this year we've had, I think we're sort of in a similar mindset to everybody, and we're trying to catch up for lost time almost this pandemic. And so we've had like loads of lovely breaks, and we've been so fortunate in that sense. But yeah, the hard part is leaving Milo. So I sort of said to Erkan next year, I've seen on Binky, Binky she was on Made in Chelsea. Seen on her Instagram, she's in this like amazing place in the south of France, just looks incredible, but her doggy's there.
Oh, see, that's a goal.
I know, and I think what they've done, because France is like what, like an 8-hour drive for some people, I think.
Yeah.
So I think next year.
Imagine how fun that could be, because you could stop on the way in that. Oh, I'm going to meet you there.
Yeah,
we're going on a doggy day trip, Cobes.
Bring the boys, bring the girls. We're going big. We're just renting a big villa south of France and having a big puppy party.
You had Milo in lockdown as well, didn't you?
No, babe. So
was it just before?
So we got him. I've wanted a dog forever, gorge, haven't I? But we lived in a flat in Brentwood.
Yeah.
So it was just like, and obviously because I wanted quite a high energy dog, I just knew it wasn't fair. And as soon as lockdown was over, we realized, we wanted outdoor space. We weren't bothered about living slightly further away from London, as long as we had that back garden. And of course, we put our name down for a doggy as well. So we got him just after, but I'm quite glad in a way, mate, because he's got a touch of separation anxiety as it is.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Oh, mate, I wouldn't have been able to fucking leave the house if I'd got him in lockdown, because he would have been so used to having us around all the time.
Yeah.
How long have you had yours?
So Kobe's 18 months old and Minnie is 9 months old. Yeah, Kobe's going to be 2 in February. Minnie's going to be 1 in December. But we wish we got 2 at the same time, because we had Cobes. Yeah. He was a dream, and we were like, oh my God, why didn't we get 2? So they've got like a companion.
Yeah.
And but they're so different. Minnie's so like cheeky. She's got like something about her. Kobe's like a little old man. I don't know what he's going to be like when he's 10, but bloody hell, at 1 year old, he gives some daggers.
They always say though, don't they? Like, they're talking about kids, but I think it's exactly the same principle.
Yeah.
Is they're like, this is my first child who made me want to have loads, and this is my second that made me start at 2. Like the second
that
one
is like my eldest kids and my eldest dogs. Kobe and Enzo, both sensible. Brody and Minnie, just a liability.
Well, I'm absolutely not ever going to introduce you to Erkan, because I am campaigning so hard, Shaw, to get a second one. And if he hears that your second one is naughtier than your first, you'll just be like, no way, because Milo is torture.
But if he's torture, you might be going like the other way. You might find that your next dog will be good.
Do you find that? I hope you're right. I love that like train of thought, and I would like to believe it, but all I can think
tell it to him like that.
Yeah, all I think.
You got the naughty one.
Well, we're overdue a good one, but no, I really think what's going to happen, because I'll wear Erkan down. I know I will. It's just a case of when. So we'll get that second one, and I just know Milo's going to teach him all of the naughty things.
Yeah, he probably will. Minnie's brought Kobe's like cheeky side out a little bit, but he's just so innocent compared to her. They are completely different, but then together, when you get a second dog, because you will get a second one, you'll wonder how you did it with just one.
So do they play together really well? And like, because Milo at the moment, he just follows me around the house, and like my little heart breaks. Like, I don't care, I love having him as a pal, but when he's just got comfy, and I'm like, if I hold this wee in anymore, I'm going to get a water infection.
And then they still follow you to the toilet.
And I eventually get him dead quiet, mate, like barely even making a sound. And Milo's like, where you going, Mum? And I just feel so bad.
That's Kobe. I think it might be the first dog then, because Kobe's like that. But what I found out is, so Minnie came into a house with a dog. So she automatically came to a house where there was a dog to be around, whereas Kobe came to humans. So apparently the first one's always closer to you and follows you more because they didn't have another dog to follow around. So Minnie's not too bad. Like, we can walk upstairs and Minnie won't follow. Kobe will still follow me everywhere. Minnie doesn't care.
I also think, and I'm going to be really sexist here and hold my hands up, I think maybe it's a woman thing. Like, yeah, it's like, you go where you want, bitch. I'm doing my own thing.
It's Minnie.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Don't leave me here. It's dangerous without you. Little coats.
Oh, they're so gorgeous, honestly, mate. You've cemented it in my head. I'm definitely getting another one. I send her all your pictures, and like I have the two of them, and then I send this lovely little there's an account on Instagram that's a brown lab and a yellow
Lush.
One. And I send him all of those, and now he's like talking about getting a brown lab, so I've really worn him down.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks, babe.
maybe this side of the year I'll be stalking you now until you get one.
Honestly, so I'm going to start putting my name down to all the rescue places and just not fucking tell them. Oh, it's a good thing he doesn't listen to this, honestly.
I'm going to send it right now.
Oh, babes, I was dying to say to you as well, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
What a proposal.
I know, she did do well. Lots of people say to me, lots of people say, did you know? And I always thought I would know when Harriet was going to propose, because she gets really awkward, she gets really stressy and like fiddly, and she wasn't. But because it was my 30th and she was taking me to Paris for my 30th, and Harriet's like romantic anyway, I thought, oh no, she won't do it now because it's my 30th. But yeah, she did nail it.
Oh, mate, so nice. So tell everybody about it. Like, obviously I've seen on Instagram, but for any of me listeners who haven't, tell everything. I'm like, give me the goss.
See, everyone's seen like the good bits on Instagram. I actually recorded stuff on a camera. We were going to vlog, and I still haven't opened the camera since we come back. The actual run up to the proposal is the funniest thing ever. Like, it's not going to shock anyone who follows me, because nothing's ever like plain sailing. But she took me on like a dinner cruise. We had like a 3-course meal. It was amazing.
Oh, was it long?
And then I was insane. And Harriet doesn't like boats. She gets seasick. So we said, we've always wanted to go on a cruise. And I said, why don't we try a little one first? She was like, oh, maybe one day. So she surprised me with that for
and how was she? Was she okay?
She was fine. Okay. Yeah. And I said, if you're fine on this boat, you will be so fine on like a massive cruise ship. So we had food, and then we've got to see all the pretty lights, because the Eiffel Tower sparkles, doesn't it, on the hour of every hour. So at 10 o'clock, we got to see all the sparkles and watch the sunset. And then when we got off, she was like, oh, I want to go back to the Eiffel Tower to watch it sparkle again for 11. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we've just seen them, but we'll go again. I wanted another drink. Like, I was ready to go and get a pint, you know.
You're so British. Oh, well, so however you identify, you're like, I've fucking seen it, mate.
But I've seen it. But even Harriet's like that. So I couldn't get why she'd want to go back. And I thought, Harriet's not even the one who likes sunsets, likes pretty things, you know, likes montages. She was like, no, come on, let's go back. Maybe we can get like a nice video of us in front of the Eiffel Tower at 11. So I was like, oh, okay. So it was like 11:15, and it was about a 9-minute walk, but my feet were hurting. So drama queen Charlotte was like, I don't want to walk. She was like, let's get in this tuk-tuk. Oh my God, Vicky, it all went wrong. So we got in the tuk-tuk. A 9-minute walk took us 40 minutes. Was it 40 or half hour? 40 minutes to get there.
So you missed the twinkles.
Yeah, but listen, this is so funny. So we drove past we were just getting up to it at 1:11. It was about to sparkle, and the man said, oh, this is how much it is. And she was like, oh, it's card. And he said, no, I only take cash. She was like, well, I've got a fucking cash on me. Like, well, and he's like, sorry, I can't let you out. I'm going to have to drive you to the cash point. So we zoomed past the Eiffel Tower. We went past it. I went, oh, I said, well, it's all sparkling now. I said, let's just go back to the hotel. There's no point. We'll have some drinks. She was like, no, we're going to have to go get cash. He's going to have to drive back to the Eiffel Tower. We'll watch the ones at midnight. I was like, Harriet, what are you doing? Like, why? There's like no point. We've already seen them once, and now we've seen them twice. She's like, no, we're going to come back. So we got to the cash point. The man then said, where do you want to go? She said, let's go back to the Eiffel Tower.
Adamant about this tower.
Adamant about this tower. So he gave us a boom box, because you could tell by my face I was fuming. I was like, I'm fuming that we've got to go back. Never mind the fact that we went past them. He gave us this boombox, put a bit of George Michael on. So me and Harriet in the back with this boombox singing George Michael.
At least he's got taste, man.
All the way. No, that was good. And I said it was really funny. We got out there, and he said, oh, it's like €100. We were like, what the fuck? Felt sick.
So expensive, aren't they? We did one from like Harrods to what do you call it, mate? Like, you know, where did you Winter Wonderland at Hyde Park?
Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes, and it was 40 quid. It ruined my Cannes date. It ruined
it for me. I said to Harry, I said, you've just cost us €100 just because she wants to see the sparkles again. She was like, oh, come on now, don't be saying blah, blah, blah. So then she set up the tripod and stuff and was like, oh, let's do like a montage for our Instagram, it'd be nice. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then we were standing for it, it started sparkling. As it started to sparkle, Harriet does this. I was like, what the fuck is she doing? She's going on her phone now. We've waited 2 hours. We've been in a tuk-tuk for 40 minutes.
100 quid down.
We've got whiplash from going up the hills, 100 quid down. And then she passed me the phone and it was the boys on there with balloons and T-shirts on saying, Mummy, will you marry our Harry? And then I looked and Harriet was on one knee. So then all this fuming stuff in myself, I was like, oh my God. So no, it was lash. It was so lash. And the lead up was just hilarious.
That's so nice. I'm so sorry. I'm so premenstrual, but that was so beautiful as well. Oh, it's that she had them involved, you know?
I think that's why I thought that it would never happen when we were away, because Harriet's always known that the kids are my world, like they're everything to me. And I think she always knew deep down that I always wanted the boys involved.
Yeah.
But she did it well, because she did say if they'd have got involved another way, they would have just like cropped up. They would have told me. So she got my mum to video that video when we'd already left for France, so that they physically couldn't tell me. Because Enzo will be like, bro, Harriet will go, oh, you've got to keep this a secret. And then Enzo will be like, I've got a secret, but I can't tell you what it is. And then I get it out of him. So no, she did it well. She did it well.
She absolutely smashed it, mate. It's so wonderful. So are you now, right, where's your head at? Are you balls deep wedding plan? Are you going a million miles an hour? Are you really chilled?
So we thought we were going to be like balls deep. We went to see a venue that we have always been obsessed with. I've always said, if I ever get married, I want to get married there. We went down there and we provisionally booked it. But now, after like a couple of months and we've like sat down and looked at stuff, we now like the idea of going abroad. So my sister gets married in October in Cyprus. And I said, let's
Erkan would absolutely love that. He's dying to get married in Cyprus.
Yeah, that's where my sister's going. I don't know why, because I've always looked at places like Italy and like Santorini. They're like the popular places, aren't they? But we said we'll like look at my sister's wedding. She can be like guinea pig, and we'll decide then if we do want to get married abroad or not. I just think I don't know if I'd like it if it was too hot. But October's a good time. So we're going to see. We're going to judge my sister's wedding first and then decide if we do want to go full shebang over here or just have quite an intimate one abroad. I don't trust many people anymore either. I think like the past like year, I don't trust many people. And I just think we were looking at this big wedding list and I panic about inviting that many people thinking, do I really want all them there or do we just want an intimate one abroad where it's close family and friends?
Me and I can always joke because obviously we got engaged this year too, but we have been invited to 8 weddings this year. And at every single one, like it's like we're doing recce's. It's like we're doing research and we're like, we really like this and we're going to steal that and we're going to do this. And it's like you say, you sort of like learn what you do want and what you don't on everyone else's trial runs. I know it's really tricky, but
it is. And then I feel guilty because if I see stuff I like, I don't want to copy them, but I am going to copy them. And I'm going to make it a little bit better.
Yeah, on it. I am all for it. But there's no original ideas anymore. We're all just like rehashing. We saw it was, I can't remember which one now. They've honestly we've got one left now, one wedding left. But one of them, it was take a seat, not a side, because you're loved by both the groom and the bride.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
Like, I love that. Like,
yes, little touches like that are nice, isn't it?
Just a big nice thing, because you know when you've got and I just want everyone to mix straight away and stuff like that. And our friends, they got married. Speaking of like Italian weddings, so our friends got married in the Amalfi Coast.
Oh, insane.
It's Mario and Becky, and honestly, mate, it was just stunning. Like they made it into sort of like a 3-day thing, and subsequently, like by the time of the wedding day, we all knew each other. Like everyone. Yeah,
I like that.
It was
that's what makes me think abroad would just be so nice. And we said, because we've got the kids as well, we wouldn't do a honeymoon on our own. The kids go away 1 week of the summer every single year. We wouldn't want to do like a week one. So we said if we were going to get married abroad, we'd go for 2 weeks, get married at the start and just use that as like a whole like family moon.
Oh,
so, we're going to have a little look.
Yeah, so if it was an like ideal world, I'd want to go either like you say, sort of I do love Italy, like Florence.
Beautiful.
Oh, so and then of course, like food's so easily done. Like everybody loves pasta, everybody loves like mozzarella. Oh yes, so that's amazing. And then I also love Parma for the wedding.
I got my sister's hen was there. It's beautiful.
Really?
So beautiful. Yeah, you probably already been. You've been like everywhere, haven't you? You're always everywhere. Literally, you've been around the whole world. Every time I see your holidays, I'm like, this has got to go on the bucket list. We've got the money, this has got on the bucket list, and this got on the bucket list.
Sure, I'm such a travel whore. Like
I love it.
I can't help myself. No, honestly, we everyone thinks of Parma, they think of like Magaluf, we
were in Parma because my sister's not much of a party person. We went into Magaluf one night, thought I was going to die, and there was 12-year-olds everywhere. And the other night Parma is like beautiful. So pretty,
so stunning, and we've got a wedding planner, and we've started having she started firing us over venues and stuff.
Exciting.
I know, mate. I think we're going to start planning, like getting my heads down sort of towards the end of this year.
Yeah.
And then visit some venues next year, and then we're thinking 2024.
Yeah, same as me.
Stop it.
Yeah, we said we're going to have, because I said everyone who was meant to get married in lockdown will have booked this year and next year. So we've been to a few this year. We've got a few next year. So I said, let them all get their weddings done. And I'm ready to do 2024. I'll have a few more wrinkles by then, but we move.
Oh, do you know what though? Like I used to be obsessed with this idea of being like this beautiful young, like whatever bride. And like, had I married any of, because obviously this is my third time lucky lass. But had I married any of those like fellas who weren't right for me, and I wasn't right for them, I mean, be diplomatic, then I would just be divorced, I'd have loads of them under my belt. So no, I'm so pleased I waited till I was a little bit more experienced.
And Vic, you've aged really well. Like you look better now. Yeah, you're so beautiful. Not that you weren't, but you've proper aged beautifully. So imagine what you can be like in 2024.
You are like welcome to come on this podcast whenever, I just love you so much. I think my mum is like, I always look at my mum and she's like she's aged so well, and I feel like, okay, I've had a bit of
hope.
Yeah, there's hope for us. So yeah, I'm not too stressed. And I think like, isn't it so lovely? You've got the boys can be involved in your wedding and that. Like, that is so. Obviously, we're freezing out. I say we're freezing what eggs. I'm freezing my eggs. And Erkan's going to put his sperm into them and make embryos. Sorry, that was really graphic, but I didn't know any other way to do it.
No, I love it.
So we're doing that, and like I do sometimes. The only thing that makes me a little bit, because I know we're not really ready. Our relationship is still in its infancy. We want to be together for years.
Yeah.
I sometimes think like, I will be really sad that our future children won't be there. And that's the kind of toss-up you have to make, isn't it?
I agree. I think, it's one or the other. Like some people do it like the traditional way, don't they? They get married and then they have children. I had all my children and now I'm going to get married. But there's no right way or wrong way to do it. But the only reason, like you haven't got the kids already to know that they're going to miss out. So it's not, how do I put it? It's not like you'll feel sad because they don't exist. Yeah. And then they exist after it. And then, does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it'd be nice that they can be there.
And honestly, that just means, because I'm already thinking like, future, all it means is I can do like a Rochelle Humes and have like a 10-year renewal and they'll be at that.
Yep. That's such a good idea. Perfect. Do a 5-year one to fire it.
Okay, you're extra, Anne. I love it. I've seen that you went at Stacey Solomon's wedding as well.
Yes.
She looked unreal.
Oh, I can't. When you expect someone to look beautiful, and I always knew that she was going to look beautiful. She always said about like dress that she wanted and stuff. But she looked insane. And I don't even think the photos or the videos do any of it justice. I don't think it ever does anything justice, is it? But she looked insane. She can't come to mind because I can't top it.
No, honestly, sunsets and what is it? Sunsets and flowers are both beautiful just in their own way. You'll be unreal.
Maybe she'll let me a dress.
Do you know what? I don't know what I expected Stacey to go for, but when I seen it all come together, I was like, this is it. This is what I expected.
If Stacey was a dress, that would be Stacey. Like that dress for Stacey.
Perfect.
Just insane.
And I love her and Joe together, and I think their romance is so beautiful and organic, and seeing their family grow is just gorgeous. Was it a lovely family day?
Yeah, I think that was probably, I said to Harriet when we left it, that was probably the most family orientated wedding I've ever been to. She obviously didn't do any phones, which is perfect. And you can just see their love is just so pure. Everything about them, oh, it's just lush. It was amazing. But it was beautiful. And she was lucky to have the weather as well, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we've had everyone's had such a good run of it. But this is the thing. Yeah. So I want to be a dry bride because nobody wants to get pissed on their wedding day.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a sweaty bride.
No. I've said this, and that's why I said it. I question being here because my luck, it would piss down if we had our wedding here. And some people don't care. I said to Harry, I know I would care. It would break my heart. And the venue that we like here, it's very outdoorsy. Everything nice about it that we like is outdoorsy. And I said
hinges the risk on the weather. Yeah.
It just, and I stress about the tiniest things in life anyway. So I don't know if it's going to be the right idea for us. Yeah, I'm going to use my sister as a guinea pig, and I'll come back to you and let you know what we've decided.
Please do. Poor sister.
I know.
But honestly, I think like it's just too uncertain, the weather here.
Yeah.
And I couldn't relax. And like you say, like most venues here, like the beauty, like the places like that, the beauty of them is the outdoorsy element. So yeah, go away where you're guaranteed it, but doing it in somewhere like October one. And you know the other good thing about October, the fucking slash all their prices in half. All the venues abroad.
And whilst everyone's getting really white and really ghosty, you come out with a banging tan for Christmas. Genius.
There are no downsides.
No, there's not. Do you know what? You're selling it more to me. There's actually none. The only downside I always stress about is if your wedding dress got lost on the way or something like that. That's risky business.
Yeah, that is risky. But now you've just unlocked a new anxiety of mine, so thanks for that.
Or get your dress out there. Buy a dress out there wherever you're going to get married. Oh my gosh, good idea too. I'm going to write all this down.
But let's start making notes. Also, though, last one though, because I feel like you aren't going to want to get married without your doggos. So
no, that's what's hard.
Yeah.
And my cat. Harriet doesn't think a cat can come to a wedding. I was like, absolutely can.
Excuse me, watch me. So then, if you did Italy, you could drive.
Yeah. It's true.
It could just be a massive big road trip.
Yeah, it could. It could be one big greedy road trip.
Oh my god!
You're giving me all my content here for 2024.
Oh babe, honestly, I could talk to you about weddings till for hours, but I know people want to know more. So let's wrap up part 1, and in part 2 I'll chat to you all about your Instagram and everything else. Hello everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of Vicky, Pattison, The Secret To. I am joined by Human Ray of Sunshine, Charlotte Greedy. Charlotte, I'm still obsessed with your headphones.
They just creeped me. I've already got a big head, and they make my head look even bigger.
Right, mate. So when I was doing my obligatory Instagram stalk before we started the pod, I stumbled across the picture of you, H, and the boys were like, are you a leak? Or you dressed as a leak?
Oh, I was a leak. We were in a Wales rugby game, and Harriet was a daffodil.
Yeah, and the boys are dragons.
Yeah. That's just a typical day with us.
But I actually, so that's the reason I prompted that train of thought is because your head looks tiny in that leak. I feel like you have a tiny
I'm going to start wearing it. I'm going to have to wear it every day now because you said that. Yeah, Harry's got a head like this, and I've got a head like this. So when we're in pictures, and I've always got to hold the camera, so her head looks like this and mine's like this, I'm going to start wearing the leak day to day if my head looks small in it.
Honestly, mate, it looks fucking tiny. I want to go right back to the start. So you first hit headlines and became essentially the term viral. You first became that when you managed to transform your home on the shoestring budget of $5,000. Did you know it was did you think, I'm doing something sick here, this is going to explode? Or were you just like, I need to do this for me? What was your thought process?
Yeah, no. So I moved into my old house, which was Miss Greedy's home. I still class that as Miss Greedy's home. I miss it so much. It was my little council house. I moved in with the kids. It was my fresh start away from not a very nice relationship. Yeah. And I literally left with nothing with the kids and thought, I've got to make this a home. It was a shit tip. It had bongs in the outhouse and stuff. The carpets were full of fleas. And I said, I need to do something now because the kids are coming back this weekend and I've got 3 days to sort it so that it doesn't look like this. So Harriet was in my life at the time. We weren't fully together. We were really good friends. And she said, why don't you start your Instagram? Because I've always said I wanted to do one. And she said, why don't you start on Instagram and like just, you can do like a little journey. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. So I started it from then, and then started ripping stuff out and started to do stuff, started to try and do things as cheap as possible. And it just went mad. And the first time it proper flew, I think, was when I went on my stories. I definitely had a wine, standard. I went on there one night and I was chatting, and people were like, oh, I love your energy. I love how positive you are. I love what you do. And then it just started growing, and I started to enjoy it. And I got to like 10,000, then 20, then 30. And little did I know then that you could make money on Instagram. I was just doing it because it was so much fun. And I was like, my God, this is so fun. So yeah, it was like kind of an accidental thing, but a journey I wanted to keep for myself. And now it's a journey with shitloads of people that haven't realized how much they've helped me on my own journey. So yeah, it's nice.
Oh, do you know what, mate? Like, just this, when I listen to you talk, you're such a happy, bubbly person anyway. You just radiate good energy. But when you talk about your Instagram, you really light up.
Yeah, I love it so much. Even with the bad stuff, I love it so much. I wrote my book as well. I've said about if I didn't have my Instagram followers through like my own shit, because I started my Instagram in probably one of the worst places of my entire life. Tried to like hide all that at the start and make it positive for myself and for other people. And then gradually, as I've gone through and I've started to open up a little bit more, people have helped me so much. So you're always going to get the bad, aren't you? But everything good about my Instagram, like, they've all definitely saved me in different ways, 100%.
I always say that, like, I've literally just been a guest on someone else's podcast. It's been a big old podcasty day for me.
I like it.
Yeah, Milo's fuming about it. He will get his second walk soon. But yeah, I said, like, I know there's downsides to Instagram. Like, even just last night on my home account, I had a little bit of a disagreement with some people who were just being so rude. And I know there are slight downsides and stuff, but you're right. Like, I do think predominantly the goods out, like the positives outweigh the bad. Like, I know when not that long ago, I found it was actually start of this year, I found I was having terrible time with my periods, Shah, just the worst pain.
Yeah.
And I was honestly being led to believe by doctors that I was just a fanny, that every woman went through this pain and I was just being dramatic. And it took me like going private and sort of really like insisting I needed a scan to find out like I had a cyst the size of a tennis ball on one of my ovaries, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
And like, you know, doctors have to cover their backs and everything, and I'm not.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and he was like, they had to put the fear of godness in a way and sort of say it can make it really difficult for people to conceive naturally when you've got these. And I just was dead open on my Instagram, and I discussed this with, like, you know, and I said, like, I know you're all interested in my periods and my fertility journey to talk about that. And so many women came forward and were like, Vicky, I've got a 10-inch cyst on one of my ovaries and I've got 2 healthy boys. And honestly, I wept with complete, like, I could cry again thinking about it, but
it does. It makes you feel so much better knowing,
and like you're not on your own.
You're not the only one. Yeah, I said that, and I said another touchdown on that when you were saying you talked about stuff. I found when I started to talk about things that, like you said, there's so many people in the same situation as you, and you can feel so alone and so scared, and there's so many. And then when you get that bad comment, it does not, like, it's not even relevant. It doesn't mean anything, because there is thousands of other people who are either one in your same situation or are going to help you through it and be nice to you off their own back, and they don't even actually know you. But yeah, you are right. You do, if you share things on Instagram and you get bad stuff, you've got to kind of just let that go of you, because the good always outweighs the bad, as they say.
I'm working really hard at the moment to be less reactive. That's me current.
I try.
Yeah. Yeah. I had Roxanne, you know, lad baby man.
Yeah, I love her so much.
She's honestly fucking class.
She's so lovely.
I can see why you have both made such huge successes from your Instagram, because you're both just absolutely beautiful people. But yeah, she said to me, like, oh, I just leave them, I just block them, you know.
She's amazing.
She's so, and I was like, I want to be like you when I grow up.
I know.
Because it's nothing to do with Geordie Shore. It's who I am as a person. Yeah. I am reactive, you know. And as I've got older, I've got loads better and realized not every situation needs a dramatic reaction.
Yeah.
But still, there's something about it that irritates my sensibilities, that as a person, as an adult, you will sit and follow someone, and
I know,
and go on to something that is personal and private and important to them and be nasty. Like it beggars belief to me. And that's when I bite, you know?
I'm like you. I see it in two different ways as well, though. So Roxanne messaged me. She WhatsApped me when I had a massive breakdown a few months ago on there. And I come off it for about 2 or 3 weeks. And she said, you've got to realize that, like, you're way better than this. You do not need to react to anybody like that. Like, this is your life and it doesn't matter what they're saying and they're in fake accounts, blah, blah, blah. So I've learned to do that, but I still do what you do. I react, but I only react in, you know, when you're having a really shit day and then you see these hundreds of messages and you have this one asshole. I also find it really wrong that you can't out them. So if as soon as you out someone or you tag their name, you're then called a troll. You're setting all your army on them. Well, don't fucking be a knob. Like, you don't get to do that to me, and then me not be able to do it to you.
I do it every time.
Management will message me and say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." I'm like, fucking. It's just so hard, isn't it? But I said a few months ago, it's really hard for people like us, Vic. We make money, living a life we love, and people don't like it. Some people won't like it, and that's fine. That's up to them. But when they call you fat or they call you ugly, or they used to say my teeth are my teeth are goofy and stuff, or she's put weight on, she's doing this, she's doing that. You haven't got a HR, you haven't got someone you can go to and say, I'm being harassed. If someone walked into Tesco and went up to a cashier on a cash point and said, oh, you're fat and that, and walked into them every day and kept them, it's harassment. But we get told to grow a thicker skin. I don't want to grow a fucking thicker skin. I don't want to turn
I like my thin skin.
I like it. I like crying. I like being sensitive. But I don't want to be picked on.
No, I know.
And I just think it's such a fucked up industry with stuff like that.
And I agree with everything you've said. And like, honestly, I am. So that is why I am working really hard, because I'd love to be sort of one of these, do you know, like Rosh, like she's just so like very calm about it. Oh, let them, like, they're having a bad day. They're a bad person.
Stacey's like it.
Yeah. Oh,
she's amazing at it.
So much still to learn, and I don't know if I'll ever learn it, mate, but I am working really hard on being less reactive, because these people, they don't deserve my peace.
No, they don't.
Nah. But babe, like, of all that aside, it does seem as though your career and everything is going from strength to strength. I know you've got your gorgeous collection within the style. Congratulations.
Oh, I know. I love them so much. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. And you've worked, so obviously you've poured your heart and soul into the collection, and it's very supportive of LGBTQ and everything else as well. You even gave a portion of your proceeds to charity, is that right?
Yeah, so the Pride collection within the style was for charity. I've got a really important one coming up in January as well. Obviously I get paid to do collections, but there's a certain one in January where I'm not taking any money, and it's all going to go towards a men's mental health charity. So I've got that up in the pipeline as well. Yeah, I just think, you know, I never expected to earn much money in my whole life. Like, I've always thought I'll never have much, and obviously I earn quite a nice amount of money with collabs I do and stuff. And I just think I am actually not one of those people that is desperate to like be a millionaire or anything. So if I've got enough money and I'm happy with what I've got, there shouldn't be a reason then why I can't then do like things and make money for charity. Because when you've got a platform, it's nice to use it in a positive way for other things as well. So I've got some good things coming up for that in January as well.
Congratulations, babe. And Thank you. I feel like exactly the same thing. For me, if you are lucky enough to have a platform, be doing well, or whatever it is, you know, I think there is a real responsibility to pay that forward.
Yeah.
To not only like help other people up who are wanting to do something, but also help out charities, help out like causes that you love and stuff. So much to Erkan's disgust, I am dragging him on a 26-mile trek for Alzheimer's on Saturday.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I think my auntie's doing that one. Is it did you get like a t-shirt in the post and stuff?
Blue and green?
Yeah. I think my auntie said she signed up for it when she was drunk, and she was like, I've got to do it on my own. And I was like, well, I would have done it with you if you told me.
Oh, bless, honestly, well, she could do it with me, because I think Erkan's going to bottle it right at the last minute. We're doing it around Stonehenge, and I'm like, it's so beautiful. It's this and he's like, I don't fucking care. It's 26 miles.
Yeah, that's far. Is that a marathon?
It's a marathon in a day, yes. So we're starting at like 7 a.m. And we've done one, we did one a couple of years ago, but actually we did it in lockdown.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, when sort of things were starting to ease, and we did it for the hygiene bank. So I think everyone was just absolutely buzzing to be out and about, really. Yeah. But like now, of course, we're not in lockdown. Everyone is always out and about, and Ercan's less than pleased that I've signed us up
it's
to
so
it.
far. Me and Harriet did walked a marathon in a day once, and now I wish I did it for charity because it was absolutely, like, it was painful. We walked from, you don't know where I live, obviously. We walked from where we live in Pontyclean to Ponty, which was there and back. It worked out as 26 miles. We got to Ponty, this place.
Yeah.
Our hips were hurting so bad. We got bottles of Stella, and we got pissed on the way back. It was so fun. But I said, me and Harry did it to try and like be healthy. All that hurt the next day were my bones. None of my muscles hurt. I felt like I needed 2 hip replacements, so I don't think I'll do that again. So you do that on your own.
Well, I've signed up as well. Oh my God, here I go with my. I commit to everything you say. Like I do. I feel so lucky to have live in the life I've got. That whenever anybody asks us to do anything charity-wise, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely paid for. So I fucking signed up to trek the Sahara Desert as well.
Oh my God, that's going to be so fun though.
100, that's 100k, I think.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so 100 miles? I don't know, I can't remember. So I sort of see this as a bit of a warm-up. So pray for my old bones. I'm 35 this year.
You'll be having 2 hip replacements next year now.
At least we'll get married 2026. I'll put it off for the hip. Mate, before I let you go, I wanted to ask a little bit about your fantastic new book, which I'm assuming is why you've been so busy.
Yes, I have. This is the holding cover.
Mate,
I love how they do this though, because the book's just empty. So you go on and go, oh look, and it's just empty. Yeah, you do. It still makes me giggle. When I had like what are the people called that? What are they called? They're going to punch me for saying this. Yes, when the publishers were all like trying to fight for me, I was weak laughing. I was like, this is not normal. I said, this is weird because I'm only on Instagram. Like I'm just an Instagrammer. I'm not a celebrity. I'm nothing. I'm not on TV or anything. So when I was being fought for to write a book, I just couldn't believe it. So no, it does blow my mind now that I've done it. I hope it's going to help loads of people. That's all that I care about.
And tell me a little bit about what's in it. I mean, obviously that one has nothing, but tell me about what
this is my book. So I wanted to do a positive book for New Year. I've always said on my Instagram, every January I struggle. I always get depressed in January. It's the worst month for me. I think everyone tries to do like New Year's resolutions and stuff. 90% of people definitely fail. I always try and not drink. I try to diet. I try and stick to doing 26k a day or something like that, and I never stick to them, and it gets me depressed. So I've always said if I ever brought a book out, I'd want it to be to help people in January, which is when it's going to come out, to help people in January to give themselves a little bit more instead of feeling like they have to do stuff for other people or do something for themselves for other people. So I've wrote some really good life lessons in there. I've had a few in my 30 years. I wrote a fair good few life lessons in there. There's some really nice positive tips and stuff. There's some nice pages people can doodle on and stuff to get them involved and stuff. There's
a little bit interactive.
Yeah, and there's some really good stories in there that I've never really shared, which are going to be like quite tearjerkers for people. So yeah, it's like my life lessons, and I'm hoping that my life lessons will teach other people not to do my stupid life lessons, and they can dodge them life lessons and then go on a different life lesson on their own without doing them, and they'll be breezy.
You know what though? I always think, and like I say this a lot, because my book, The Secret to Happy, is very similar. Yeah. Like I've tried to read so many self-help books over the years, and I can't. Yeah. I can't. I feel like this doesn't appeal. They're all quite me.
Like
preachy.
And it's from people who are perfect.
I know.
Like I always find, like I've looked at like books with self-care or like trying to steer someone into the right direction in life, and it's like, oh, I want you to go in this direction, but I'm a millionaire and I've got 12 kids who are all perfect, and I've got a husband and I've got loads of money and I've got 4 perfect dogs and I've got no mortgage, and it's perfect, and like nothing's happened in their childhoods, and I just can't relate to them. I think so many people relate to it. Mine's really scatty. Like, oh my God, my whole life has been. I could do. What's the one with where you do a movie?
This Is Your Life.
I could do a This Is My Life in a movie. It'd be top seller, mate. I'm telling you.
But that's
so much drama.
I think people relate to normality. They relate to struggle and highs and lows. And I always say, if I was at a dinner party, like, I don't want to be sitting next to Mrs. Perfect, who has like milk and honey baths every day, and nanny's teaching our kids Latin. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I want to be sat next to Charlotte Greedy.
Oh, that is cute. Thanks, Vic. I always say to Harriet when we speak about you, and I was speaking about coming on here, you are like, you're huge. Like, you might not think you're huge, but you're a huge deal to me. But you're so normal, and I think that's why. And I think that's why I enjoy watching you, because you are a normal person. I say this about Stacey. Like, people say to me, "Oh my God, you're friends with Stacey Solomon, aren't you?" But I don't see her like that now. I just see her as Stacey. She's such a normal person. She's huge, but she's just so normal. And it's like you're just normal, and you show normal things, and that's nice. And I don't think many people who are as big as you do that enough. So yeah, it's nice to have some normal people writing books about normal things.
Yeah, and I think, like, honestly, there's been such a, by the way, you're fucking lush, but there's been such a shift, and I think it's post-pandemic, post-lockdown, like,
definitely
people are a bit done with the bullshit. Like, they want real, and I think that's why people like you are just going to continue to be so successful and do so well. And I know I'm really excited to read your book.
Oh, thanks, babe. I think lockdown helped me, actually. Lockdown, I grew loads in lockdown, follower-wise, because I was trying to keep everyone upbeat and stuff, because I was having a breakdown. I was putting weight on. I was drinking every day from 10 a.m. I was having dinner for breakfast for dinner. Like, everything was a fucking mess. we were brinnering all day, you know? And I was just showing everything normal, but I was trying to keep everyone upbeat. And that's when my Instagram turned a little bit. And that's when I started to post more about me instead of the house. And I've really struggled, actually, since post-lockdown now.
Yeah.
Since post-lockdown, I've stopped trying to make my house look so pristine for everyone, because it's not. It's a load of shit. You do the picture there, the shit's all behind you, fact. And I've started to just do a bit more of real life, and people do enjoy it more, definitely.
Oh, but then, you know, that's it. Insta versus reality, always a win for me, because I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, taking a gorgeous picture, whether it's of you, whether it's of your house, whether it's of your kids, as long as you can see plenty of other reality.
Tits. That's my favorite reel in the whole world. It's true, isn't it? Show how beautiful I look here, but also show how beautiful I look here when they're down here.
Yeah, you've got to admit, everybody has got one saggy tit. You've got to show it every once in a while.
I've got two.
Neither of mine are perky, but lefty.
I think I've got four, actually. I've got two under my armpits that conjoin to my back fat.
Honestly, girl, you look gorgeous to me. Before I let you go, because I know you're incredibly busy, here at Vicky Pattison The Secret To, we always ask our gorgeous guests to give our lovely listeners a pearl of wisdom, whatever it may be. And I feel like you're so beautifully authentic and unapologetically yourself. You're welcome. It's true. I'm sure everybody would like to know what your secret is to just doing you.
I think my secret to doing me, which again is going to be in my book, is I try not to be like anybody else. You've just got to be yourself. If you're loud, be loud. If you're quiet, be quiet. Don't feel like you need to be loud to fit in the crowd. There's no need. If you've got something weird like cat ear headphones, show them. You don't need to hide stuff like that. Like, I play Fortnite, tell everyone. I just think if you can never go wrong in life if you always be true to yourself, even if you feel like there's a world out there that's trying to make you be someone else. So stick to you. Be, like I said, be loud if you're loud, be quiet if you're quiet, be weird, be wonderful. And don't let anybody change you because you feel like you should change for everybody else to fit in. Don't fit in. I call myself the popular loner. I've got like 3 friends, but I've got loads of friends on Instagram. So I'm a popular loner, and I don't care because I'm weird and wonderful.
But that's it. You really are wonderful, mate. Thank you so much for being an incredible
Thank you, babes.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.